Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 13. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. 17 days until decision day. So we see Chris and Nicole. They're getting ready for the day. Gina and Clint's soulmate, which is Gina's dog. Hey, sir. Shaquille is going out of town for work. He has to recruit some new students for the fall of 2023. So we see Jasmine driving, okay? Mind you, she's driving. And she's saying that, she has her guard up and she's hoping that by the end of this, that her and Eris will be in a better place. Jasmine, keep your eyes on the road. If you don't, you will be in a better place. You're going to be in heaven. Girl, do that when you stop at the light. Chris and Nicole. So they have decided to install a bidet, okay, because this was Nicole's bright idea and she wants to zhuzh up the toilet and whatnot. So she's testing it out. He put it together. But for some reason, she feels like she needs to take us along. Ma'am. Nicole, we don't need to see the tutorial. It's pretty self-explanatory. Okay. It was giving me yuck. Okay. It was giving me yuck. I don't want to go in the toilet with you, but thanks so much. So she was like, oh my gosh, I feel so turned on that he put the nozzle on this toilet, child. So she feels turned on by it. Well, child, please do not let Kirsten know that he put that bidet together, because she'll be all up on your man, because that is manly to her. Baby, that is manly to her. So Dr. Pia is back. She's back to talk to the couples about intimacy. Hey, girl, Gina and Clint. So they're up first. So they sit down. She's asking how things have been going. They're like, oh, it's been going good. Everything's great. We've been making a go of it. Everything's fantastic. And then Clint goes, we have great communication. We're great. Clint got a little line problem. Clint, y'all ain't great. Nah. So Gina was like, well, it's cool, but we don't feel married. So Dr. Pia was asking them, why? Like, what's going on with the physical part? Like, what's wrong with that? So Gina was like, I've never had a problem being attracted to any man. It's always been easy. Clint said for him, when he sees someone, it's just an instant attraction. He knows he wants to have a physical relationship with that person. So Dr. Pia asked them if there's any sexual chemistry independent of each other. So Clint gave a resounding yes, honey. She couldn't even finish her sentence. Is there? Yes. She couldn't even finish it. So Gina gonna have the nerve to say, well, that was confident. Why wouldn't it be confident? He's a sexual being. Did you expect for him to stop being sexual because you ain't with it? Charlie, don't work like that. So Dr. Pia is asking them, what are you guys doing to help that? This was so funny to me. Clint said, well, it's an independent exercise at the moment. Something is wrong with Clint. Oh, that damn Clint. When I tell y'all that was so funny to me, not it's an independent exercise at the moment. I know that's right. So Dr. Pia wants them to talk about it. And Gina is skeeved out. She was like, ooh, talk about it. Oh, no, ma'am, honey. I do not want to talk about anything. Oh, child, I'd rather pluck my eyeballs out rather than talk to Clint about sex. I don't want to do it. Let's talk about sex, baby. Absolutely not. That's what Gina was giving. She's like, no, we don't see each other that way. So it would be awkward. Like, yuck, this is my roommate. Don't get it twisted. So Dr. Pia goes, so how is it going to happen if y'all don't talk about it? Gina was like, well, I think it's going to happen organically. And how is that, Gina, when you don't even look at Clint like that? How is it going to happen organically? Okay, it's not. So Dr. Pia is telling them, listen, every situation is different. So you have to put in effort. Dr. Pia, please don't waste your time. Okay. It's something else you could be doing in your pretty outfit today. It's probably nice outside. Go for a walk, have a coffee. Please do not waste your time over here with Gina and Clint, because they will not be getting it popping. Okay. But we're going to finish hearing what they had to say. So Gina was like, I just don't have that desire to talk about sex with someone that I'm not attracted to. So Dr. Pia goes, well, how is the marriage going to work? Gina said, well, I don't know if it is. So she goes to Clint. Here go Gina. He feels the same way. Ma'am, we know you don't like him, but let him speak his own speech. We do not need you to speak for Clint. Clint, please come to the front of the class, honey. What do you have to say? I feel like Gina is trying to make sure that she controls the temperature of the room so that Clint doesn't get any bright ideas. He is well aware. Please do not think for 1 second he feels like you're going to turn this thing around in the 9th hour. No, he knows that it's not happening. So Clint explains that for him, if he smells something sexy like vanilla and different scents, that turns him on. So Gina said, well, I feel the same. Smelling a nice cologne or something would turn me on. But for attraction, I'm looking for style and swag. I really wish that we would retire the word swag. You need to get over there with Airhead because he's looking for swag as well. But you have to be a sneakerhead. Okay, so you can be a swagged out sneakerhead and get over there with Eris. Okay. I really wish Gina would get out of her own head. The potential for a great marriage is there, Gina. It really is. I don't feel like she should have gone on this show. She just wants to promote that salon and be able to hang up one of those signs. You know those signs when you go to a touristy place or a place that has been on television and there's a sign that says, the cast member from season 16 works at this salon. So you can come in and get a blow dry and then talk to Gina and whatnot. We don't want it, honey. We don't give a damn. You came on this show to promote that salon. That's it. That's all. So Dr. Pia goes, well, do you think Clint has swag? She said, no. He said, interesting. Interesting. I've been quantified as the king of swag. So, this is just my loungewear. But if I got to dial that needle up, I have the ensemble to do so. With you, Clint. Clint, I am done with you. Baby, Clint is my kind of guy. I love a good old joke. Boom, boom. Y'all remember my Jacob joke of the day? If you have been here since season 12, remember when Jacob would always tell a corny joke in the middle of the season or in the middle of each scene? And baby, we would have our Jacob joke of the day. Oh, Clint, you done took Jacob's spot. He gonna say, they call me Senor Swag. Nobody calls you that, Clint. Not nobody. Is it your daddy friends? Your daddy friends might call you Senor Clint or Senor Swag or whatever the hell you saying they calling you. But nobody in the free world is looking at you in your leather jacket and going, whoa, Senor Swag. Boy, goodbye. He's being such a good sport about it, though. I have to give it to him. He is being an excellent sport despite the little digs that Gina keeps taking. Girl, get it together. Moving forward. Side note, why is Gina always slumped over and humped over like the hunchback of Notre Dame? Girl, sit up and hold your shoulders back. My goodness, that spinal cord is probably screaming. If you don't sit up and sit back. So Dr. Pia tells them that she usually gives her clients homework. So if they focus on touch, then, it may start to help them. Gina was like, well, we haven't talked about attraction since the honeymoon. So I feel like, it will be uncomfortable. Gina is going to say no on decision day. She moved in to appease Pastor Calvin because he was taking his glasses off. Gina does not want to be in that house at all. They are living as roommates and she doesn't want to touch him. She isn't attracted to him and thinks that he reminds her of her dog, Hank. Now, I hate to be harsh, honey, but we just got to, at this point, we're at the end. Clint, don't even waste your time, honey. Don't waste your time. It's not worth it. She makes fun of you every chance that she gets. Let that salon cozy up to her in the end, honey. Jasmine and Eris. So Dr. Pia visits them next. Eris looking all sleepy. Sir, open your eyes up. So she visits them. And so they sit down, they're talking. So she asks what's going on with them. He couldn't wait to say that he wasn't attracted to Jasmine. I'm trying really hard. It's just really not there. We got it. It's word vomit at this point. Okay, we've heard it all before. We've heard it. Shout out to Sunshine Anderson. We know that you're not attracted to Jasmine. We get it. Okay, we get it. She's like, well, can that change? He said, yeah, that's why we're still here. Nah, y'all still here so you don't get fined and you ain't fooling me. So Dr. Pia asked Jasmine if her needs are being met. And she's like, no, he doesn't even hug me. He basically friend zoned me on the honeymoon. So Eris was just basically saying, the longer that he doesn't hug her, the more awkward that it becomes. So why did you stop hugging your wife? Now she can't even get a hug? Like, what is this? Anywho, Dr. Pia feels like Jasmine is going along to get along. So then he pipes up talking about how he's trying and Jasmine will say one thing and he's not getting any feedback from her. Who would want to talk to you? Who? Not I, said the cat, because you don't even look this woman in her eyes. You have looked directly at every other woman on this cast besides your wife. So why would she want to talk to you? So Jasmine goes, well, I mean, when I do say something, it's not like he cares anyway, so I don't even feel like I need to be talking to him. So Dr. Pia asked how he felt about that. He was like, well, I mean, I love that she said that. So Dr. Pia was like, yeah, he needs some pushback. Some pushback will get him turned on. Didn't I tell y'all? Didn't I tell y'all this dingbat wants a woman that doesn't want him? He wants somebody that's going to be playing games. That's what he wants. He wants to be able to chase you just a little bit and you reject him. He needs to get over there with Jackie on Love is Blind, honey. She likes some toxic. Get over there and find her child. In the next scene at Clint and Gina's apartment, they're sitting down on the couch and they're talking. So Clint goes, you don't think I have swag? She's like, well, I mean, maybe we can get you a swagged out haircut. Clint, she's just trying to get you down to that damn salon. She wants the signage to be shown, child. I feel like Gina is really a piece of work. He isn't a Build-A-Bear, Gina. He's not. And you have no problem saying whatever you want to say about his appearance. So if he says anything about you, I don't want to hear it. Okay? I don't want the uproar. I don't want people in the comments hooping and hollering. Gina makes it very clear that she wants to create the man that she wants Clint to be. And even if she cut his hair, it's not going to stop there. Then she's going to have to fix his clothes. Then she's not going to like the jokes he makes when he's around her friends. Then she's not going to like the way that he kisses. She's not going to like the way that he touches. It's never going to end. So no, we're not going to cut his hair. So Gina goes, I don't think an R&B playlist, this is what they're saying in their confessional, is going to make us want to bang. He goes, but she did say go in without preconceived notions. She goes, so you think it's going to work? He said, I don't know. I'm not a sex doctor. He's like, who knows? We may, Amazon us a sex swing. Why don't y'all just borrow Nate and Stasha's? They ain't using it. Honey, shout out to Nate and Stasha. So she was like, well, I might already have one. You don't know. He gonna say, well, hot dog. Damn, Gina. Boom, boom. Goodbye and good night, Clint. I am done with you for this episode. Moving forward. Gina, give that man a chance and let your guard down, girl. It might be all right. 16 days until decision day. Kirsten and Shaq. So she's FaceTiming him because he's out of town for work, right? So she's like, how's the trip going? Fine. I'm like, oh, honey, dried in a Popeye's biscuit. Shaquille does not seem too enthused to speak to her at all. Even his facial expressions are saying, please hurry up and hang up. So she's telling him that she was sad about him not being there last night. And she's like, but you're coming home. Did you decide when you're coming back? What hour you're going to leave? He's like, I haven't even decided yet. I don't even know. She was like, well, maybe like 4 or 5. Yeah, maybe. He don't want to come back. That's what it seems like. That man is over this made-for-TV marriage. He is over it. So she's getting off and she blows him a kiss as she's hanging up the FaceTime. And he didn't blow one back. So she called him right back. Hello? Hey. I had blew you a kiss and you didn't blow me one back. He was like, oh, I didn't know you were blowing me a kiss. Shaquille, you seen this woman's hand go to her mouth and then go back out to you. Boy, goodbye. Chris and Nicole. Question. Did he do it back to her the second time? Baby, these two right here is a trip. Chris and Nicole. So Dr. Pia is visiting them and they're telling her, that they had the sexuals already, but they really wanted to wait until they got to know each other and it just happened. They didn't want to be too in their head about it. So, of course, they tell her why and they tell us why. And so Nicole tells her story of like having hate sex. Like she knew the person didn't really want her in that way, but she did it because she wanted to feel like someone wanted her in the moment. So Chris was like, yeah, I had relationships that were based on solely sex. There was nothing else but that. So Dr. Pia asked if they do foreplay. So Nicole goes, not as much as I would like, but we get there. We get the job done. She's like, are you a people pleaser? Because I feel like you're saying it's okay for the lack of foreplay just so you won't rock the boat. Dr. Pia, you are so bright. Okay, you are so bright. About as bright as them clothes you got on, girl. You are smart and they ain't fooling you. You are on point with this. That is exactly what Nicole is doing. She is so afraid that he's going to leave that whatever he does or doesn't do, she accepts it. We have not seen her dog once. I think we may have seen it once, but his dogs are there. So Nicole was like, it really feels great that he's a safe space for me. And, I just know that I'm effed up. So Dr. Pia was like, no, ma'am. 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 We're not going to talk to ourselves that way. You are not effed up. Things happened to you. So Nicole goes, well, I have to accept responsibility for my part in allowing it. I love that Dr. Pia didn't let her talk to herself that way. Okay. I see Chris sitting over there stewing. He better not say nothing about her breakthrough. Because I feel like this was really a moment that Nicole was having and she needed that. And Nicole, you need to hit up BetterHelp, okay? So that you will be able to work through those past traumas. They're going to be able to give you the tools to help you in this marriage. But I love that Dr. Pia was there to really pull the real out of her because we've all been seeing it. She's just doing whatever Chris wants. Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, that's great. Oh, you don't have to wear the shirt. Oh, my dog doesn't have to come. My dog can go to Florida. It's fine. Just so that Chris will accept you. But guess what? If you continue that and then the one day he says something that you don't like and you're ready to not be your representative, then all hell gonna break loose. So you need to just be who you are. 15 days until decision day. Jasmine and Eris. So they're cooking together and Eris is in this confessional line talking about, I have a better definition of intimacy. Sure you do. So he tells Jasmine that he talked to her sister. They showed that flashback. Sister was keeping it all the way real. She told Eris she shouldn't have to do anything to be wanted by you. I know that's right. So Jasmine revealed to him that her sister told her that Eris said the only reason that he clapped when she came down the aisle was because Pastor Cal told him to. All right, all gloves are off. I think I have been very mild when it comes to Eris. Because y'all know I really can go there. And now you done pissed me off. It's giving me Paige and Chris flashbacks. Let's get into it. So he was like, well, I did it to try to calm you down. She's like, you did it to calm me down and not because it was the truth? He gonna say, you didn't faint, did you? This asinine little twerp. The way that knife would have mistaken his finger for a bell pepper, I would have diced that thumb right on off that finger, honey. I don't condone violence, but you playing in her face. Okay? And Jasmine, tell him that you aren't attracted to him either because of his personality. Attraction is more than just looks. He has the personality of a pet rock. And just so we're clear, no matter who you get, Eris, they will never be good enough. You're always going to find a fault. You're always going to have a problem because you're not happy with yourself. You need to get some therapy and work through your issues. Okay, and then maybe you'll respect a woman. Child, this is ridiculous. Shaquille and Kirsten. So Dr. Pia is there and Kirsten claims that everything is great. He's like, it's been rocky. Dr. Pia said, well, that's the opposite. Yeah, it is the opposite because Kirsten like to lie when she get around people, child. So he said, it's about learning her and kind of balancing things because, I have school and work and she has, she's doing real estate. So it's just hard. She's like, yeah, and also because I'm just used to being in control. Dr. Pia asked if she's comfortable allowing Shaquille to take the lead and take care of her. Oh, she's definitely comfortable with him taking care of her. She wanted a Lambo, a push present, a house. She want all that. She doesn't mind him taking care of her. That's not the problem. So she was like, have you guys talked about what makes you attracted to each other? And she said, I found him attractive when he was moving boxes. So Dr. Pia goes, why? She said, he was being masculine. So she said, well, do you think that he's masculine? She said, yeah. That was the most pregnant pause that I have ever seen on TV. I thought the cable went out for a minute because it's storming. It's been raining all day here in Houston. I was like, not the power going down. It was just Kirsten, him, and Han. Girl, do you find him attractive and masculine or not? The answer is no. I know that made Shaquille feel so bad. I really feel like Dr. Pia should have excused Shaquille and got down to it with Kirsten. But I guess she just wanted to lay it all out there. Ooh, honey. I know he felt bad. And she wonders why he didn't want to come home. He needs to go down the hall and knock on Jasmine and Eris's door because they need to switch ASAP. Just pull Jasmine on out and push Eris on down the hallway. Let her have the F-boy with the sneaker collection that will move all the boxes that she wants. Like, let her have him. So Dr. Pia said, well, I mean, that was a long pause. Because it's a lie. Kirsten been capping since episode 1. It's all a lie. She's like, well, I guess because my dad, he was so tough and he uses his hands and he has a business, the dad that he's yet to meet. And I think you don't want him to meet Shaquille because you think Shaquille is too weak. And maybe your dad might pick up on that. Is that what it is? Okay. So Dr. Pia goes, well, you sure did put a lot of emphasis on tough. Okay. Do you feel like he's tough? She said, well, I feel like he can be, but I've seen the more sweet, nurturing side, and she was like, well, do you think he can be masculine? She said, I know he makes me feel secure versus protected. Basically, if they were in a dark alley, Shaquille, your bow ties won't get them off of y'all. Okay. She don't see you as a manly man. She has her idea of what she feels is manly and tough and rugged, and that is what she saw, which is her dad, and you don't fit the bill. The same with Dom. That's how she felt about McKinley. He was not manly enough for her. So Dr. Pia goes, so you don't feel like he protects you? She's like, oh, that's a tough question, but I think he protects me. Just be real. Just be real and say you feel that he possesses what you deem to be metrosexual qualities. Okay. And you're used to a more rugged man. Okay. And Shaquille is more metrosexual and you want him to be more tough. We need to have a real conversation here. So Dr. Pia asked him, well, what do you feel about what she just said? He said, what does she want me to do? She wants me to mimic her dad. What do you want me to do? Pick up a car with my bare hands, build a house? Like, what do you want me to do to show you that I'm masculine? She said, no, I don't want you to mimic my dad. He shouldn't have to mimic your dad. He feels like he's been trying since day one and he's been trying to prove himself and it's always something. And I agree. So Dr. Pia feels like if he tries to change who he is to make her happy, he's going to eventually resent her. And if he doesn't do what she deems masculine, she's going to be out of the marriage. So basically what you're saying is it's a no on decision day. Yeah, she doesn't think Shaquille is manly enough, and foreplay starts outside of the bedroom. So if the only time that she likes him is when he's moving boxes, she ain't gonna want to do nothing in that bed. That's probably why she liked him being all rough with that paint and scraping her skin off, because he was being rough and tough. Baby, this is a fool. Chris and Nicole. So they're talking about their sex life. And Nicole said, if the sex stays the same for life, she's going to be fine. Child, let's skip on past these two. Gina and Clint. So they have an exercise called Just the Tip. Gina always hunched over on this girl. Sit up. I just can't get over it. So they start talking about sex. So she asked if there was a safe word, and they made up a safe word. I can't remember what it was. And she asked him if he sends D pics. And he was like, no, I send full body pictures. He's all up with the aerial shot and whatnot. I was like, what? Not a full body picture. Oh, no, ma'am, honey. I do not like those pictures in any form or fashion. Don't send me you in the nude. I don't need it. Okay. I will see you in person. I don't ever want to open up my phone and come face to face with your member. Absolutely not. Please don't send me that. So she was like, yeah, well, I've sent nudes, even if we weren't in a relationship. Let me find out Gina got pictures floating around here. I don't trust people like that. I may want to run for office one day. I can't have you with my bosoms all in your phone. All up in that cloud, honey. I don't know who has access to that cloud. Absolutely not. So they get this sensory box, okay? And they're trying to practice touching each other. This was so cringy. I see they had a brush, a feather. I said, not them having a brush in here. I'm surprised Gina didn't say, oh, we have this same brush at the salon. Because, every time you turn around, she's talking about that damn salon. So she's rubbing his arm. Then he rubs hers. And Clint is like, this device is nice. I like this one. Not this device. Oh, my goodness. These two make me want to take a refreshing beverage break. Okay? I'm going to get something to drink. I'll be back. Moving forward. Clint has more of a connection with Hank. This is not going beyond decision day. I could have gone my whole life not seeing them play with this hairbrush. Okay. It just don't make no sense. Shaquille and Kirsten. So Dr. Pia gave them an exercise to find something sexy and lead the other person. So Kirsten is walking around with this blindfold. Honey, it's not too far off because she always act like she in the dark. So she's walking around and he puts this rope around her. And she actually liked it. She was like, I liked being tied up in the rope. It was sexy. And when I was in the rope, I'm like, oh gosh, girl. Girl. She liked being led by his voice and allowing him to control her. So after doing the exercise for 5 minutes, they lay down on the bed to talk. So he's telling her that he really wanted her to be there with him on his work trip. And she was like, well, I wish you would have said that. He was like, well, I mean, you was just ready to run the street. He feels like she couldn't wait to make plans when she already said that she would come with him. Now, I have a serious question because, we give Kirsten a lot. But Shaquille, let me get on you real quick. Why does she always have to go with you on every work trip? That's not realistic. Her life doesn't stop because you're going on a work trip. If she wants to stay behind, it should be okay for her to stay behind. I'm not understanding that. So then production asked if he's happy in their marriage. The short answer is no, but he said, well, happy is a stretch. Let's wrap this up. Decision day me. Let's wrap this thing up. In the next scene, all the men are getting together to play baseball. Shaquille, you should have brought Kirsten. I'm sure she would think this is masculine. So they start playing. Poor Clint couldn't hit a ball to save his life. Child, I'm glad Gina ain't here. Over on the other side of town, all of the ladies are meeting up for cocktails and conversations, and they're mixing up some drinks, and then they start talking. Back over with the men, they're done playing, and now they're sitting down, they're talking. So Chris brings up Nicole's issues. Chris, reel it in. Over with the women, Nicole is like, yeah, I feel like Chris is too responsible. Like, he gives me the option to talk about my problems. And if you give me the option, then I'm not going to talk about Nicole, pineapples. Back over with the men, Shaquille was like, yeah, I mean, our relationship is like a 7 or an 8 out of 10. But I feel like she hasn't supported me in my career. But I mean, we are kissing. So then Eris gonna say, well, since we're at the baseball field, what base are you on? Grow up, airhead. Ugh. He did say they were at second getting to third. I'm like, oh, child, please. Shaquille, I have to say this. Although Kirsten is Aggie AF, she went with you before the honeymoon. Okay? She took a day off the honeymoon to be with you. Now you want her to go on every trip. It seems like you want her out of town every time that you are. What exactly are you doing to support her? Time apart is good. That doesn't mean that she doesn't support you. And y'all gonna quit that line talking about some 7 or an 8. The only thing 7 or 8 in that marriage is Kirsten's shoe size. And y'all ain't fooling me. Moving forward. Back over with the women, Kirsten is lying to, try to save face. And Nicole is trying to stand in for the experts. Girl, stop. Okay? You are not an expert. So Kirsten was like, I mean, if he tried to have sex with me, I wouldn't turn him down. Girl gone. Back over with Clint. He's like, well, as far as me and Gina, we aren't even in the stadium. I mean, we might be in line, but we're not in the stadium. Well, honey, if we're talking about baseball and that being the goal, y'all playing soccer at this point. And move out of the way, Clint, before she hits you in the head with a ball, honey. So Eris goes, I mean, we don't even talk about sex. And, and then he go talking about how he's not attracted to We get it. Okay? We don't give a damn. Back over with Jasmine, she feels like Eris will say one thing with the experts and then there's no change. So then she starts crying and saying, she's at her breaking point and she feels like she just really can't even take it anymore. Oh, Jasmine, let me tell you something. Don't shed not one tear over that anteater. It's not you, it's him. He is shallow and he wants one of these women that's going to give him their behinds to kiss. He's childish. Okay? If he's not ready for what you're ready for, that is fine. Stop trying to make fetch happen. Nobody on this season is compatible besides Snooki and Vinny and their horror stories. Nobody. It's just terrible that this isn't what she thought that it would be. But listen, honey, this isn't the end. Your husband is probably watching right now. Hey, future husband. Girl, you got to learn to look directly at the camera and wink, honey, so you can fall off in your DMs after decision day. And that was the end of the episode. Child, y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you think about Eris admitting that he only clapped because Pastor Cal said so. Nicole's breakthrough. Chris judging silently. Okay, he couldn't wait to get with the fellas so he could start judging out loud. Kirsten admitting that Shaq is not the masculine man that she needs. She needs him to change a tire or two. Honey, put some dirt up under your fingernails or something. And of course, we have Gina and Clint and Senor Swag. These people are nuts. Nashville, you are nuts. Y'all are crazy. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.